What is up, guys? Today we are doing the random tournament. Yes, sir. This time I decided to make it double-sided, just so, it's easier to see. It's definitely way easier to see now. Um, but yeah, double-sided. You can see what team you're playing first. And also, these are the point values so far. We have the Broncos and Giants tied for first with the Raiders in second. Then we've got the Lions way back here at -4. Yes. So let's get started. These are all the scores for the first round, but I'm just going to go through the noticeable ones. The Bears blew out the Chargers. That's crazy. But yeah, the Seahawks blew out the Titans. Not too crazy about that. But that's all that happened on that. Then on the right side here, we have the Steelers blowing out the Jets. We have the Texans blowing out the Rams. Wow, not really much happening besides the Ravens just doing really, really bad. Also, let me notify you that we have 3 100s already. That's right, we got the Raiders, the Panthers, and the Texans all getting 100 on one of the rolls, which, for the ones who know, they get an extra point. So yeah, I'll be adding that up at the end of the video. We are back with the second round done. And some noticeable stuff that happened was Steelers blowing out the Giants, Saints blowing out the Commanders, Eagles blowing out the Texans. And if we go to the other side, we have the Actually, no, they didn't get blown out. Raiders blowing out the Patriots, and the Buccaneers getting the worst score I've ever seen in this, which is a 16 average. That's really bad. We are done with the third round, and these are some pretty questionable games because the Panthers barely got out a win against the Seahawks. The Raiders beat the Cowboys, which you would never thought would be said. Steelers beat the Saints. What am I talking about? Steelers beat the Saints, and the Eagles and the Colts had a very big fight. And if we go over to our point values, the Colts got a 100. So they add 1. That's great, I guess. So now you guys are going to watch me do these last 3 games. Woo. This game's a little sad. Like, if this was actually played in real life. This would be a little interesting because it's the Battle of the Pennsylvania. But let's start off with the Raiders versus the Panthers. The Raiders are up first, and they get a 2, a 27, and a 38, which if you average that out, you get a sad... That's just crazy. They get a 22. Now, the first episode, they were doing really good, so no matter what, they're getting a lot of points. Wait, who's up next? The Panthers. Oh, yeah, that's right. The Panthers start off with a strong 80, a 29, and a 7, which makes their average a 39. That was a sad game, like expected, but this might be a little more interesting with the Steelers, who get an 88, a 4, and a 99. Wow, that was a really high-scoring turn. They got a 64. Who knows if the Eagles can beat that? They've been having some really high scoring games right now, 85 and a 58. Is that enough to get the win against the Steelers? But they barely lose with a 60. Dang. All right, we got the championship right now. Panthers versus Steelers. Something you would never hear in today's economy, I guess. Whoever wins this game gets 10 points. Whoever loses gets 7. Either way, pretty large amount of points. Panthers up first. They got an 81, 46, and a 1. Ooh, that's going to be bad to their score. I'm going to do it by the decimal for the championship just in case if a problem occurs. They got a 42.67. Now, we have the Steelers. They start off with an 85, a 3, and a 38. If you guys can do math in your head, you already know that was a close game. Do you know who won? This was a very close game. This is the closest game ever. Oh my God. Guess who won? The Panthers. Panthers won. The Steelers got a 42 on the dot. The Panthers won by .67. Wow. Of course the Panthers won a tournament. Of course. Any other thing they would lose in. Wow. That's crazy. That's like the best round ever. All right, I'm going to get all these points situated, and I will be right back with the totals. These are our official standings now. As you can see, the Panthers got 20 points that time. That is absolutely crazy. And the Lions are still in last. The Buccaneers and the Lions are tied for last. The Broncos were in first, and they got 0 points that time. The Giants were in first as well, and then they lost 3. So this game, anything can happen. Anything. But the one thing that I love seeing is the Chiefs have 0. The Chiefs have 0, baby. Let's go. But yeah, the Raiders, Panthers, Eagles, and Saints and Steelers all went up by a significant amount. Oh, and Seahawks. They all went up by a lot. But yeah, subscribe if you haven't.